Sheldon, the meetings through today, the feedback that you're getting, any sense of what these guys felt about their seasons?
Well, you know what? These meetings are always tough to have when you go through them, especially when you're so fresh off of a loss and such disappointment. You try to recap the season for the guys, and anytime you go through that, I think it's generally positive. You know, I think the players felt good about the season that they had, and they feel good about where they're at in their careers and everything like that. So that's a positive, but there's a lot of disappointment in what happened in this series and falling short of the ultimate goal. So, you're getting some feedback there on what they feel went wrong, but it's going to take some time to really digest everything that happened in not just that series, but even the series that we won. You really want to figure out what went well or what could have gone better. So that'll take time. We've got the summer to really digest things there as a staff, and then the players themselves will have time to reflect. And there's some of them that we've said we'll reconnect with them again. When they've had some time to really think about some things. So the more feedback that we can get is a positive thing for everybody going forward.
I realize your team will change next fall, but as you leave here today with these players, is there a level of expectation when everyone comes to camp next season, given how successful you guys were this year?
Yeah, well, it's always difficult. Now I say always. This is my first go around here, but I think when you're an AHL coach, you don't want to look too far ahead, and you certainly don't want to discuss too much with many of the players because they all leave here with the goal of working hard all summer long to be able to play in the National Hockey League. So I don't, and I won't talk to them much, about our situation. But certainly, once we debrief as a staff and make our plans through the summer, we'll look to get better, and I'll certainly look to get better and do a lot of reflecting and put our team in a good position, going forward, regardless of what our roster does or doesn't look like. We'll be better for it and use the experience in a positive way as a staff, just like we tell our players to do.
For years now, when we do these types of wrap-up things at the end of the year, every player or coach talks about how positive the atmosphere here is and how good it is to be part of the Marlies and develop here. It's your first season, but can you have any insight or can you speak to just what makes this such a positive environment and one that allows players to grow?
Well, I think first of all, it's a first-class operation, that the resources are put in place to remove excuses for the players and the staff to be able to, from a staff perspective, to provide the guidance and really anything that the players need to take care of themselves, to develop physically, whether that's through first-class staff, facilities, all the different things that they need to take care of their body. And then from a player's perspective, they've got, they're fed, they're taken care of, all of the things that make it easy for them to come to work every day. It's a positive environment, and then it's a world-class city. It's a great place to be, great place to play, and I think the fan support we got through the playoffs is just a sign of how great it is to play here, and that the fans respond well to when you're winning. So a lot of great reasons, and I was very fortunate and grateful for the opportunity to coach in the American Hockey League and for the Toronto Marlies, and with so much talent that we had this year. It was a privilege for me. I was very lucky to be in the position that I was, and take a lot from it, and I'll be better for it.
On that note, a lot of the players sort of stressed how important it was that you guys taught skill first and sort of built around the youth. Do you think there's sort of a model here that works where you can still be successful with a lot of youth and sort of just insulate them with some of the veterans?
Yeah, I think that was an interesting thing coming into the season is we were very young, and we had some veteran players that were a big part of our team and were important people, but we were the youngest team to play in the playoffs, and certainly the youngest team to still be standing here in late May. So to have so many young players, I think, is a sign that certainly young players can contribute and do well. And Hershey had a number of strong, young players that contributed very well, as does Lake Erie. We believe here that a big part of the development of the player is to continue to develop their skills, and that's regardless of age. We had some of the older players come in here today and talked about the fact that they feel as though, even though they've played a long time, in professional hockey, they're still getting better, and they really gained confidence in their ability to improve this year through the skill development and the attention to detail on improving their game, not just within a system or within a team structure, but really honing in on what they need to do to get better as individuals. So that'll continue to be our focus, and we'll continue to fine tune it. And the player development staff here is top notch, and did a wonderful job of blending with our staff to make the players better, both inside of our system and just fundamental skills that players can refine and improve. So we'll continue to make a plan on that and what we can do to improve upon it. We had some discussions with players today on what they liked about it and how we can adapt some things. So it's a work in progress. Again, it's my first year in working with so many resources available, but I really enjoyed being able to blend the player development staff together with the coaching staff at the Marlies and taking the direction from the Maple Leafs on the different skills that are necessary to be Maple Leafs. So you've got the things that are necessary to be specific Maple Leafs within Mike Babcock's system, then you've got skills that are necessary to play in the National Hockey League. And some of them are the same, some of them are different, some of them are things that are really prioritized with the Maple Leafs. Other things are just maybe it's not so much a priority, but are still very, very important. Whether you look at one player needs to skate better or needs to get stronger or needs to adjust his shot, or sometimes we've looked at different things from different equipment that players use, sticks and skates and stuff like that can make a difference to guys. So being very individualized like that is important. Those are the things that we'll continue to look at.